let's begin with the video streaming platform Roku. Shares up more than 20% today on, I think, what we can call, Jim, a better than expected quarterly loss, because this company is still losing money. But revenue's up 59% year over year, growing faster than expected. Roku now has 30.5 million active users for the quarter. That's up 39% from the same period last year. Jim Mueller, what do you make of Roku?
They're doing pretty well, actually. So, $250 million in revenue, as you mentioned. That's ahead of their analysts' $240 million estimate. They lost 8 cents per share. Analysts were estimating around 18 cents per share loss, and so that was pretty good. And their ARPU, average revenue per user, is up a whopping 27% year over year to over $21 per user on average. And that's from people buying movies and content to watch through the Roku platform.
And Jim, we talk a lot about the battle for the living room, and there are all these different players depending on how you slice it. When you look at a Roku, what's their secret sauce? What's their moat for the next 1, 2, 5 years?
I think their moat for the going forward is the fact that they are the largest provider of devices for streaming. What is it? Here it is. Strategy Analytics estimated about 41 million streaming platform devices out in the market in the U.S. Right now, and that's 36% higher than the number 2, the Sony PlayStation, and much higher than the one I have, Google Chromecast, and an older version of the Apple TV. So kind of behind the times, I guess.
So they've got a huge installed base,
right? And that's only projected to go higher, and they have thousands and thousands of channels that you can go through their channel store and add onto your device as different apps. They have also the Roku channel. They have a home screen. They have better analytics on what you might want to watch next on their Roku channel and be able to serve up new ideas to you. They get a fair amount of revenue from advertising through their Roku channel and the home screen. Knowing their users and knowing what people like to watch allows advertisers to do a better job at targeting, and so advertisers are happier. And so, Apple is coming out with its new device, but it's going to be kind of a walled garden, and they're only really offering stuff that you have to subscribe through that Apple device. So, for instance, Netflix is not on it at all. But if it were, you have the Netflix. You wouldn't be able to use your Netflix account outside. You'd have to buy it inside the Apple device. And that may or may not work out for Apple. Google Chromecast is out there. The Amazon Fire Stick, I think, is out there. But those are the ones from the really big players. And as I said, I'm not sure what Apple is going to bring to the table. Because they're really insistent on revenue sharing for those subscriptions, which is why Netflix turned them down. But Roku, just from the sheer number, they're way ahead of anyone else there.
And what about the stock? Because the stock has been on fire. And when you look at the valuation, as we say, now the company's still losing money, not near as much as they were expected to lose. So that's the good news. But the valuation, pretty rich.
Yeah, well, for a company losing money, certainly, and not generating a ton of cash flow either. But one reason the stock is on fire, and as I was saying, as we were talking about before we taped, the stock was up 230% year to date before today. So that's incredible. But part of the reason is because they've been steadily beating estimates, both top and bottom line, at least for the last 6 quarters. But on the other hand, they've only made a profit 3 of the 7 quarters. They've been public, and they're not generating very much cash flow. Since they went public in September 2017, for instance, they've only managed to generate about $34 million in operating cash flow, $25 million of which was just this quarter alone. And so they've been kind of burning money. They raised some more cash through a secondary offering recently. But I'd like to see them become cash flow positive on a consistent basis, and then hopefully net income positive on a consistent basis. And then it'd be easier to value them.